Hey everyone, welcome back to Diamond Therapy with Brenda. Today I decided I was going to talk about how to pick a diamond art. I know a lot of beginners, uh, they don't really know what to pick, or so they just pick random stuff and then they end up getting frustrated with the picture. So I thought I'd go into a little bit of detail about what I've learned over the years. So a couple of things that are important to me, well, three things specifically. One is the quality of the canvas. I think I've talked about that before. Some have really velvety backs, really easy to roll and work with, and others do not. And then number two is the quality of the diamonds. If I end up with a bunch of trash diamonds, that's just going to frustrate the whole process. And then three is how the picture is going to turn out when I'm done with the whole project. So there's a couple of things that I've learned over the years about that through trial and error. And I think I'd like to give you a few tips about how to pick that. Um, so the diamond therapy is very important to me, and if the process is frustrating, then it is no longer diamond therapy, it is a diamond pain in my butt. Um, so what's going to frustrate me is a bunch of trash diamonds, and if the diamonds don't stick very well to the canvas. My daughter-in-law, I love her to death, and she tried so hard after my little Jazzy died, December 5th of last year. Kelly, my daughter-in-law, got me, she sent off to a company, and we'll get to that company in a second. She sent off to the company a picture of my Jazzy. One of the best pictures, she actually took the picture of Jazz, and it's one of the best pictures she ever took. And I'll show it to you. But anyway, so being the kind person that she is, she sent off to a random company because she doesn't diamond paint, so she didn't know who to choose from. And she sent this picture off, and it came in about 4 to 6 weeks after she ordered it, and I got it, and I was so excited, and because I really wanted a really big picture of my baby girl, and it was so disappointing. By no fault of Kelly's at all. Of course, it was the company itself. The painting came super creased, and then part of the the sticky sheet that they cover the picture with, it wasn't flat on the picture, and so the diamonds weren't sticking, and I ended up having to throw that thing away, and it just broke my heart because I knew she went out of her way to do this for me. So what I did was I took that same exact picture and I sent it off to two different companies to see who would do the better canvas, the better diamonds, everything. And both of them came back kind of crappy. So I am going to try one of them though. Hang on a second. So there's two companies that I chose to order from. One is Diamond Painting Pro. And honestly, I can't remember who I ordered this one from. But anyway, they are the same picture. However, Diamond Painting Pro seems to have the better colors. So I'm going to try this one. So at least in this one, you can also see that she is sitting on a pink chair. This one, I mean, I guess you can see that. It just seems like it's so much more faded out. Regardless, I am going to probably do the Diamond Painting Pro canvas. Now, I'm not real impressed with the canvas. It's not silky, but it did come better packaged. Anyway, so my point is that your canvas, your colors, everything really matters. And if you're doing a custom painting, you're doing it because you're invested in whatever that custom painting is, and you want it to turn out really well. So, one of the things I learned early on was that, so in the beginning, I ordered from Amazon. I mean, most people do. A lot of people that start out don't know anything about diamond painting, and they don't know about all the hundreds of companies that are out there. So they choose Amazon, which is fine. It's a good economical way to start your hobby. There's two things that I have found with Amazon that have kind of frustrated me. One is that how they package them. A lot of them, if they're not coming from Diamond Art Club selling on Amazon, if it's just a random company out there, they tend to send them folded over or rolled up, and then they end up getting real creased. They don't package them well. So when you first get them, you have to really work to make sure that all the creases are out and you can place your diamonds and all the sticky that you need is there. The other thing is that a lot of the paintings that are offered on Amazon don't give you an option of what size you're getting. So you might see this beautiful detailed picture of I don't know, a farmhouse with horses and cows and chickens, and it's just or I don't know, a really pretty picture of a dragon or owls or whatever. It's just really detailed in the description, and they'll even show you they'll have pictures of it framed behind a couch or something like that, and it'll be this great big beautiful picture, and it looks like, oh, it's going to be a beautiful piece of art, but then it ends up being a 20 by 30 or a 20 by 20, and you can't tell that it's a horse or you can't tell that it's a house unless you're 50 feet away from it looking at it from across the room. And you spend hours on these things, and if you end up with something that you can't even tell what the original painting was, it's very frustrating. Um, and another thing, I don't really care about whether a picture is AI generated or whether it's a licensed artist or any of that. What I care about is how it turns out and how pretty it is from up close or far away. So my point being is that you have to pick the right size for your picture. Now, you could do a smaller picture if you have something that is not super detailed. So, for example, and I have many, many examples, because like I said, I started out doing smaller ones. I just picked them off of Amazon. So I have a bunch of pictures that I don't necessarily like, but I keep around. Just because I can't throw anything away. Anyway, so I just recently did this one. Looks pretty cute. I mean, I did it kind of in honor of jazz. It's supposed to be, I guess little paw prints going up the stairway to heaven or something. I don't know. But this is a 30 by 40. So if you turn it sideways, you can have a nice picture that way or long ways. So that's a 30 by 40. It's not super big. It's not super detailed. So you can figure out what this looks like. This one is a dragon. Actually, it looks pretty good on the camera. This is a 35 by 35. 35 by 35 centimeter. So perfectly square. From across the room, it looks great. But if you were to look at the original picture of what this was supposed to be, that dragon is not near as detailed as the ad would have you think. So, I mean, you've got like me looking at it right here, it just doesn't look that great, but up, far away, it looks pretty cool. And yeah, I'm going to keep this and I keep it hung up, but it's not as detailed as the original picture would be good described. So again, 35 by 35. This one is terrible. So it's supposed to be a little girl blowing bubbles for a Pomeranian. And in the original picture, she's got, she's got a detailed face. You can see her eyes. The Pomeranian is more detailed. The bubbles are more detailed. Her hair, her clothing, everything is far more detailed than what you end up with. And what you end up with is like, I don't know, you can see. See that? So yeah, if I had gotten this picture, say in a 40 by 50 or maybe a 50 by 50, this would have turned out absolutely gorgeous. But like I said, this is a 30 by 30 and um it's the details are washed out. So how I call this, I say it's pixelated. It's very, very pixelated. And I am not pleased with it at all. But I did get it as an example for this video. So this one, I'm actually going to show you a picture of the full details of what this is supposed to look like. And at first glance, it's a really cute picture, something you might want to give to your daughter or granddaughter, niece, something like that. It looked like even my mom was like, oh, that would be so cute in a little girl's room. And so this is it. And had I gotten it bigger, you would be able to tell the words. What does it say? Just one more chapter. Just one more chapter. But as I started doing it, I realized you can't even read what that says. You can barely tell she's wearing glasses. Her hair, messy bun, the plants and all that. It's fine from across the room. But the closer you get, you can't. You can't see it. And again, if I had gotten this in a 40 by 40, 50 by 50, whatever, this one is actually 35 by 35. So it's the same size as this one, the dragon. It's the same size as the dragon. So, I mean, far away, they look okay. But if you're going to put this somewhere like in a bathroom or something where people are going to see it up close, it's, I don't know. I also got that one, the Just One More Chapter, as an example for this too. So the last one I'm going to show you as an example of what not to get if you want super detailed is this one. This is a 20 by 30. And what it's supposed to look like is, you know, a Confederate soldier, or I don't know, just a soldier carrying the American flag. There's supposed to be some soldiers in the background, maybe fighting. He's supposed to be riding a horse. If you see the original picture, the original picture looks like that. Yeah, I haven't done this one yet. This is definitely an Amazon find. But anyway, you can tell that this whole area is going to be blacked out. So it's not even going to show the American flag like it does in the original picture. I haven't done this one yet because I already know I'm going to be super disappointed. But this is Paint with Diamonds. That's where Kelly got that original picture of Jazz from. I will not be ordering from Paint with Diamonds ever again. Okay, so examples of things to get if you are wanting super detail. All right, so if you watched any of my first videos, this is a 33 by 42.7 centimeter or 13 inch by 17 inch. Not all of them do the inches. But this is Diamond Art Club, and this is my completed picture. So if you were to do this in a smaller one, like for example, the 35 by 35, I think you could get away with that because it is a flower. It's not quite as detailed. And I think it would actually turn out pretty good if it was on a smaller canvas. But that's what I'm saying is that if it's not that detailed, you can go smaller. But it's when you get into the details that you need to go bigger. So, for example, this one is a 40 by 55. It's a raccoon. I also showed this in one of my first videos. There's lots of detail in that. If this had gone any smaller, you probably wouldn't be able to tell half the details on that thing. But he's adorable, and there's a little owl over to the side, you know, the flower in his hat, all that. Again, 40 by 55. So, compared to the 35 by 35. So, I don't think you could get the detail out of this that I got in the 40 by 55. So, yeah. I think that size canvas was perfect for this little feller. He's even got little berries in his hands and stuff like that. All right. This next one is a 60 by 45. And that's 3 owls with red roses. 3 different kinds of owls. Now, this was actually, for a round diamond, kind of hard to do because there were so many colors. There were 40 colors in this one. But anyway, besides the point. So this is, like I said, is 60 by 45. So 60 by 45. And if that had gone any smaller, I think this would have not turned out well at all. So the size for this canvas was perfect. Again, you've got detail, 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 detail. I mean, actually, I probably could have gone bigger on this one and gotten even more detail out of that one. So that's my point, though, is you can go smaller on the less detailed things, but definitely go bigger on your higher detailed things. Okay, so let's talk about custom paintings now. A lot of what I've done to make a custom painting is I've taken my original pictures, I've put it into ChatGPT, and I've gotten ChatGPT to sharpen and enhance, brighten the colors, so on and so forth. Because the more detail you put into your picture that you're going to send off to these companies, the better, because otherwise you're going to end up with washed out colors, or unsure colors. I have a friend at work, she sent off a picture of her dog, and one of them came back with like a whole, like, it's a black dog, and they sent maroon as the color of her dog. And so she was really disappointed. So what we ended up doing was, or what she ended up doing was, she got all of her friends that had extra black diamonds or drills, and every place that a maroon diamond was going to be placed, she put the black one. So the picture ended up turning out pretty good. But if she didn't have all those extra black diamonds, she would have had a purple dog. But she was real pleased with it once she used the black diamonds. So I showed you guys a picture, or the custom painting of Ruby. I'm going to show you how far along I've gotten along on her. I am almost done. I think my friend is going to be very pleased with the outcome, because I wasn't real sure at first how it was going to turn out when I saw it without the diamonds, but now that the diamonds are on it, it's actually looking pretty good. So this is Ruby. You can see what parts I haven't finished. I haven't finished her nose or around her bad eye there. But I mean, it's actually turning out to be pretty good. And so I got this, I used, uh, so, I used Heartful Diamonds for this one. And the colors have turned out really well. So I am really impressed with Heartful Diamonds. I have gotten a custom for my daughter-in-law, for their anniversary in November. I'm not going to show that because I don't want to ruin the surprise. But I have a picture that I got from, this one's Home Craftology. That is who I got my daughter-in-law's present from. That's going to turn out really nice. And then I have another custom coming, of my boss's cat. So I chose a different company on that one, so I'm really hoping that one turns out okay. But I do like Home Craftology and Heartful Diamonds for, Home Craftology and Heartful Diamonds for customs. And like I said, the bigger the better, especially if you have faces or up close shots of animals or anything like that. So, okay, let's talk about round versus square. The majority of my customs are square because the detail is much higher with square diamonds because they are meant to fit close together. I mean, they're kind of like click, click, click. That's how it's supposed to go. Round diamonds are much more forgiving and can be moved around a lot easier should you make a mistake or you find like your row isn't exactly straight. So round diamonds are good for beginners and for people who perhaps have arthritis in their hand or shake, that kind of thing. I just find that some folks do better with the round diamonds than they do the square. The square you have to be very precise with, and I'm going to show you some examples of both. Now, you guys saw my videos of the sunflower. Those were all round diamonds. What I'm going to show you is square diamonds. Ruby was a square diamond canvas. And you could see she's turning out great. She's very sparkly, glittery. There are 3 AB diamonds in this one. But her details are striking. So I'm going to show you what a square diamond looks like and how I go about placing them. I had a friend of mine from work say that her niece or granddaughter or something wanted to start a square diamond, but she was hesitating because she wasn't sure how to go about starting it. So I'm going to show you a little bit about how I do my square diamonds. Okay, so the first thing that I've got is, of course, my sketch light pad, because Brenda be blind and old. Okay, so the square diamonds, okay, so for square diamonds, let me turn her upside down so I'm closer. I use tweezers for square diamonds because they're harder to place and you have to be more precise with your square diamonds. That doesn't mean it's hard. I'm just saying it is easier to place your diamonds if you are using tweezers. Because let me show you an example. Okay, so let me show you. I'm gonna put this here. It's like my little sticky thing. Keeps that from sliding. If I were to use the way I regularly do them, and that's with one of these wax pencils. So, I mean, yes, I can do it that way, but I can't place them as easily as I can, in my opinion. It takes longer because I use wax pencils. I feel like I end up losing more wax than anything else. But if I use my tweezers, then I'm going in there and I'm making sure, because I've got that metal tweezer there, I'm making sure that they are perfectly lined up. You can hear my dog panting in the background. So this to me is much faster when it comes to square diamonds. So like I said, diamond therapy or diamond art is my passion. It's something that I've really grown to love over the years. And so it doesn't bother me to do a a larger picture because I'm not in it for, you know, how quickly I can do one. It's about um, taking my time, enjoying my craft. All right, well, that's going to do it for today. I think I've imparted enough wisdom today. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free. And like and subscribe, and please share the channel with anybody that you think would be interested in starting diamond therapy or has questions about diamond therapy. Have a great week, and I will see you next time. Remember to relax, unwind, one diamond at a time. Bye, y'all.